Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
This is Thursday, April the 23rd. Communicate, connect, and encourage. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. It is recorded that when John Newton penned the words to this hymn, he was preparing a sermon for New Year's Day 1773. And the text he would use for that sermon was from the First Chronicles 17, verse 16. Allow me to paraphrase what David says there. David says, "Who am I, Lord, that you have blessed me so much?" In other words, I am amazed at your grace. We are equally blessed, and we should receive our salvation and every blessing with the same attitude as David. God's giving reflects the greatness of the giver, not the greatness of the receiver. Always recognize your blessings and give thanks for the greatness of the one from whom all blessings flow. The elders and administrative staff had our weekly Zoom meeting last night, and one of the agenda items was how and what would change when we resume church services. When we begin meeting again, there will be a period, which I hope and pray is short instead of prolonged, that it will not be church as usual. Not the way we have known it. Probably not the way we would like it. Perhaps not the way we want it to be. Possibly never like it was before again. But it is what it is. So a circumstance that must be dealt with as it exists. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. Paul, of course, was the author of those words in Philippians chapter 4. Paul knew how to adapt to change, and he was a master at dealing with adversity. We have begun looking into what it will be like when we are able to start church services again. The worship team, comprised of staff, deacons, and one of the elders, have begun discussing what actions we will likely need to take in order to fully comply with the government rules and guidelines for large group gatherings, and number two, to meet the expectations of our own church members as we cautiously move back in the direction of what is normal. And if we define normal as the way it was before coronavirus, that's likely not going to happen. A new normal will evolve. We will adapt, and it will replace the old normal. It will be just fine. There will be some bumps and a few bruises along the path to get there, but we will arrive and things will be okay. In the email you received regarding this YouTube video message, it referenced an attachment you could click on and see a list of questions that we and other churches are asking ourselves at this time. Questions like, what if your worship service gathering is initially limited to no more than 100 people? What adjustments will you make to the Lord's Supper, baptisms, and your choir ministry? Are you going to continue offering children's church? What's your strategy to clean and sanitize your church in real time? Should you add and/or shorten worship services to allow for social distancing? Do you have a plan for reducing expenses if your church's offerings don't rebound? This is just 6 of the 24 questions, and we know the list of 24 questions is not an exhaustive list. There will be many more added as we move forward. In closing, stay committed to your faith, be prayerful, stay positive. Talk to you tomorrow.